Hey, welcome to FCRB TV. It's October 28th, right? Monday night, and I want to take the time to talk about, the all the happenings at the Emirates yesterday afternoon or yesterday evening between Arsenal and Crystal Palace. Obviously, talk about Granit Xhaka, the captain, our captain. Um, talk about the fans, talk about VAR, talk about prelude to the match and how you might travel back into Thursday night in the Europa League against the Portuguese side. I don't know if Vitória Setúbal or Vitória Guimarães. I believe that's who it is. Uh, travel back into that. But Arsenal, I think they were in trouble a little bit because, in the sense that, I think that the fan base is starting to get a little toxic again. Um, you know, some silly accounts out there on social media are just continuously bashing Unai Emery, which I think is a bit unnecessary at the moment. It's a little bit unnecessary. But before we get into all that, let's just go back to the game and then we'll work our way from there. Um, so and I choose to make videos this way because it's kind of hard to make videos every day, 2 videos a day, because there's just nothing to talk about, and I only want to talk when I feel there's something to talk about. So we play Crystal Palace on Sunday evening at the Emirates, and the bottom line is this: people are complaining that we don't dominate teams, that we concede a lot of chances and we squander points. There's a little bit of truth to that, but we don't have a squad fully fit that is so dominant that we should be dominating sides. Every game is going to be a fight for the Arsenal. Every game is going to be a fight. You know what I'm saying? You know, they always want to say that why aren't we creating chances, or they talk about this whole Mesut Ozil situation. It's like, listen, Mesut Ozil, when he was in the squad, he wasn't running around doing anything anyway. I think that the pace of the Premier League is too much for Mesut Ozil. It's not the best, venue for him. He needs to go to Spain or France to be able to really influence games the way he likes. So he not playing is not the issue. We took the lead 2-0 after 9 minutes, I believe, off of 2 set pieces. You know, Socrates and David Luiz got us 2-0 ahead. And you know what they say, 2-0 is the worst lead to have. I felt that at 2-0, Aubameyang had an opportunity to make it 3, and Ward closed him down well, but he should have done a little bit better. He looked kind of weak and slow to the opportunity, and it went away. But not saying that we need to get on him about that. We don't need to get on him about that. But it's like, listen, it's part and parcel of the game. People now want to blast Unai because the game ended 2-2. And I think that's ridiculous because at 2-0, we're comfortable, and Chambers makes an unfortunate mistake in the box. I think that was a penalty for the simple fact that when Zaha dragged the ball back onto his left foot, Chambers put a dangling leg out and planted his foot, yeah, but he did put it in his way. And everybody knows that once you put your foot down and your leg's in the way, the attacker is going to run, kick it, fall down, and he's going to get a pen for it. You know what I mean? Some people might say, "Oh, that's a dive," but that's being cagey. That's being, a little cunning. And he took advantage of Chambers. Chambers is not a natural right back. I think he's doing a phenomenal job for us at the moment. But we need Bellerin to come back. We really do. So he makes a mistake. Martin Atkinson makes a hash of it and doesn't give the pen, gives him a yellow. Then they have to go to VAR, which I hate VAR. They go to VAR, come back, give the pen, rescind the yellow card, and then their penalty taker guy, Milihanovic, I don't even know how to say his name, but he scores he only scores pens and kicks people. He scores pens and he kicks people. That's all he does. So he makes it 2-1, and then at that point, it's game on. It's game on, and we're gonna have to really tighten things up. At the start of the second half, I really think the start of the second half, Crystal Palace only had one chance, and Ayew scored. to make it 2-2. And at that point, okay, he scored, I think, the 59th minute, 60th minute. So we have a lot of time to try to get the go-ahead goal, and there's still time to play. And at this point in time, at 2-2, yes, we're scoring a 2-0 lead, but how is that Unai Emery's fault? How? He started with a very attacking team. Then Ceballos started at in the playmaker's role. Then you had Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang on the pitch in front of him. You know what I mean? So we had a good lineup. People are complaining about Xhaka, and we're going to get to Xhaka in a minute. But the team was good, and then, it got crazy when Unai, I believe, made a good move, bringing on Saka. He brings on Saka and takes off the captain, Granit Xhaka. Now, I do want to state that I've said before that I would not have named him captain. He's not the captain the player I would have selected to be captain of Arsenal for this season. But that's who the manager went with. We got to ride with him. So, before we get into how he came off, Saka comes on, and basically we went to a 4-2-4 with our outside backs bombing forward. So basically, we only stayed with two in the back. So it was almost like a 2-4-4. The amount of players going forward that we had to try to get the equalizer. And we're going to get to how that ended as well. So obviously, Xhaka is taking his time. I think Xhaka is disappointed that he has to come off. And before he even starts to come off, the crowd are whistling and sarcastically clapping him off. Things like that, you know what I mean? And it got to him. I don't think the fans should have done that. They shouldn't have done that. They should have just, thank you. We need you off, captain, because we need to try to win this game. And then he overreacted. And I think that his reaction shows how fragile some footballers are in this day and age. He should have ignored it, charted off, handed the captain's band to Aubameyang, not throw it, and jog off, and not get so bent out of shape about it. You know what I mean? He's another player who I think is a good footballer, but the Premier League is too fast for him. And in the big games, in the Premier League games, it's just always going to be difficult because it's so fast. He's not very athletic. So I think a lot of people who know what's going on, they feel the same way about Xhaka. So it's nothing personal. It's just that, he's not ideal for the situation. I don't understand why Unai doesn't play Torreira. But the thing is that he loves Xhaka, and he knows that if he plays Torreira, Xhaka has to come out because he knows he needs Guendouzi, and Guendouzi has to play. So he sacrifices Torreira for Xhaka, which is a problem. So that's one place where, fellow Gooners can be upset with Unai about. But having said that, he comes off, he's yelling F off to the crowd. You don't do that, man. You just don't do it. But again, it shows how fragile and soft this guy, Xhaka, is. It really got to him that the fans are booing him, that he got pulled off, and so on and so forth. And I do want to say that the equalizing goal, MacArthur put Xhaka on toast. He did a few step overs, a little hesitation, got down the byline on the left-hand side next to the box, and clipped the ball to the back post, and Ayew headed it in. I think Xhaka, because he's not that athletic, he struggled to stay with MacArthur. And if you hear the sentence that I just said, someone struggled to stay with MacArthur, not Zaha, not even Ayew, but MacArthur? Come on, man. That was bad. Look at it again. He did like a couple scissors to create space, and Xhaka bit on it because he's so slow, and he created enough space to clip the ball back post, and man scored. So, taking Xhaka off wasn't because he got smoked for the second goal. It was because we wanted to get another attacker on, and he's not taking off Ceballos, and he's not going to take off Guendouzi. He had to come off. He was the only one who could come off, unless you wanted to take off. Tierney and put Xhaka at left back and then bring on Saka. But the thing is, Tierney had to come off as well because he had played, I think, the full 90 in the Europa League tie. So the game goes on, and we finally get we all believe the go-ahead goal through Socrates on another corner. And now VAR comes in and robs us blind. There's no foul there. It's a joke. It's ridiculous. What is happening now with this VAR? Every time there's a goal scored, the opposition is raising their hand, say, go check it, go check it. Because they all know that if you go and look at it, if they check with VAR, there is a good chance that they could find some silly infraction that if the guy sees fit in the booth, he would say, you know what, take that goal away. He was too aggressive in his tackle or some nonsense. They said that Chambers pushed Mihailovic. Sorry, I cannot pronounce his name. But he didn't push him. He was winning the ball. And if anybody was being pushed, it was Chambers who was being pushed by Cahill. So, I don't understand why the fans after the game, they say that, Xhaka's antics have, saved Unai for another night, that we're not going to go at Unai, we're going to go at Xhaka for his behavior. But really, what more do you want Unai to do in that situation? Okay, you're going to say play Torreira. I agree, but the gaffer has his preference, so that's what he's going to go with. We can't promise you that any manager who comes in to replace him, like some people are saying, is going to play Torreira right away. We just don't know. You know what I'm saying? I would play Torreira, but I'm not the manager. So then you're saying Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil, listen, folks, I respect Mesut Ozil. He's a baller. He's silky. But it's not happening in the Prem. It's not happening at Arsenal. It's not happening in the Prem. His time in England is done. And he's playing hardball, not trying to find, seek, pastures new so that he can continue his football career. He's going to stay and get his money. Well, then let him stay and get his money then. But he's not going to really change anything. He walks too much. The game is too fast for him. They don't give you time to play. You get what I'm saying? So those are the only two things you can really say. I don't think we can say, Holden should have been in the team because the two center-backs scored. They scored the goals. You get me? So I don't know why people are so bent. Before I get into the fans' reaction, the fans' treatment towards Unai Emery and even Xhaka, I do want to talk about the question: can Xhaka remain captain of Arsenal Football Club after what he did yesterday? Absolutely not. It cannot happen. Why? Because William Gallas was stripped of the captain's band because he sat on the pitch and cried when we conceded a late equalizer at Birmingham. So if he's stripped for that, crying on the pitch, because we conceded a late equalizer, you can imagine what this guy's going to get. He cannot be the captain anymore because he ripped his shirt off in disgust. He threw the captain's band at his teammates and he told the crowd to F off. There is no way he's lucky he can even return to the team. They will forgive him for that. But in my estimation, he's not playing in the next game. He's not even dressing. And then when he comes back, he has to fight his way into the team again. Because now this should open the door for Torreira to step inside. It really should. Because he's a Switzerland international, the captain of Switzerland, or vice captain. He's got to know better than this. You cannot do that. You just cannot do that, João. No way, pa. There's no way you can do that and get away with it. For me, you're going to all laugh at me, but I've said it before. I've tweeted it out. I'm going to say it again. When you pick the Arsenal first 11, who's the first name on the sheet? No, it's not Aubameyang. No, it's not Lacazette. It's Bernd Leno. Bernd Leno is a fantastic goalkeeper. Just because, listen, with the squad that we've got, changes are always going to be made in the field. The field players, somebody's always going to come out. And it could be somebody who has the band. So guess what? Don't even waste time putting the band on anybody out there. Give the captain's band to Bernd Leno. The guy makes worldly saves all the time. He's consistent. He's reliable. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. He's going to be our goalkeeper for the next 10 years. The guy is awesome. Give the captaincy to Bernd Leno. Vice captain, Aubameyang and Alexander Lacazette. That's how I would go with it. Now going back to um, Unai Emery, I think it's ridiculous. So people are talking about you want Mourinho to come in, you want Allegri to come in. Listen, give the guy a chance. I still believe that Unai Emery can get us the top four. It's early days yet. We are 4 points off of top four, yeah? We're 4 points behind Chelsea. But we play Chelsea twice still. If they win out and we win out and then we play Chelsea and beat them twice, we have already overtaken them and we've got fourth. You know, if we're just going to play that game where everybody wins their games or whatever. You get me? So it's like there's a lot of football left to play. I think that like our fans, the Arsenal fan base, the fans who are able to go to the games every day, every week, some of them are trying to take the piss a little bit, and everything they want to moan about, and everything they want to crucify the manager. At the rate that these folks are going, no matter who our manager is, if we don't get the result, people are gonna flip out. My man Kenny Ken said after the game on Arsenal Fan TV, he said it's a results business. The days of us playing champagne football on the Arsene Wenger, those days are gone. It's about getting the result now, and that's what Unai Emery is trying to do for us. So if you're saying that, oh, it's boring, it's dreary, we're not creating any chances, well, yo, that's what it might be. Some of you guys are screaming for Allegri, but Allegri, his football is pragmatic as well. It's not great attacking football. No. And then you talk about Mourinho, there's no attacking football there either. So what are you talking about? And some of you even said Diego Simeone. All the managers that you all have been mentioning are all winning managers who get results, but they don't play champagne football like Pep. So stop. What we need to, I really believe, if we can create a positive energy in the Emirates and on the road, supporting our players no matter what, they will produce. Footballers, my man, Turkish said that he talked to Kevin Campbell after the game, and he was talking about how back in the day, the players would go to the pubs or whatever, and the fans would get in their face and be like, yo, rubbish, mate. Why are you in the squad? Why are you in the team? Kick rocks, get on, take a day off, get out of here. They would blast them, and what they would do is they would take it on the chin, and they would use it as fuel and go out there and perform. But footballers aren't like that anymore these days. You can't be on their necks like that, Turkish. I feel you that you go and get on their necks, and it's funny, and you are right. But some of these guys today are fragile, man. They might have kids, they might have families, but they soft. We can't. So imagine a whole stadium booing people or their own player. They can't handle that. They're not built like that anymore. We have players in today's football that will quit on their manager because their manager yelled at them. Said that, yo, he yelled at me in front of my mates. You can't do that to me. What do you mean I can't do that to you? What do you mean? But that's what it is now. These dudes are all soft. I mean, dudes are so soft. Xhaka's getting booed. They're telling him to get off. He's losing his crap. Torreira sees it, and Torreira shook. Like, yo, why are you doing that to man? Because they don't like him, bro. They don't like him. And my man was like shook or whatever. It's shocking a little bit that like his reaction. I mean, that's just where we are. We cannot, our expectations need to change in terms of not necessarily change our goals of where we want to finish at the end of the season, but we need to change our view on how we're going to get there. It might be ugly at times. We might have to score set pieces only, but that's just what it is because we don't have the squad. I think that at the rate it's going, the only piece we're waiting for right now is Hector Bellerin. I don't think that Holden will displace any of the two center backs anytime soon, barring that they don't have a howler and they don't get injured. David Luiz, Socrates, those are starting center backs. That's who that Unai likes. Do I agree with it? I mean, I think that it's just going to have to be like that for now, you know? So, but I think we need to back the team no matter what, even if they're playing shit. Even if they're playing shit, just encourage them. We gotta pat them on the ass a little bit. Come on, boys, you can do it. But when you start booing and yelling at them and getting in their face, and then you get on Arsenal fan TV, these fools be watching it, and you be scaring them. They scared of some of you guys, man. But some of y'all be talking a lot of shit too, which I don't even understand why. But people get in front of the camera and they get hyped up. You know what I mean? And they start yelling all this nonsense. Support the manager. Unai Emery is not a bad manager. And you know what? Another thing, I listen to all these cats talking about what's going on, and they were talking about Unai Emery has on his resume that he was the manager of PSG, the most expensive team assembled, that lost at the Camp Nou after winning the first 4-0, losing the aggregate 6-5 at the Camp Nou, right? And they lost 6-1 at the Camp Nou. Everybody who watched that game, you know what happened. The referees helped Barcelona. The referees helped them. Well, what is Unai to do if the referees are giving them penalties? Giving them penalties for them. Suarez, my man, was diving in the box, screaming when Marquinhos didn't touch him. So don't use that as evidence that Unai Emery is not a good manager, because PSG were cheated. And I'm going to drop something on all of you right now. Look how PSG has been eliminated from the Champions League the last few years, especially going back to that one at the Camp Nou. And then they had one where they played Real Madrid as well. The last one against Man United, they just didn't play well. But those other two at Camp Nou, when they played the tie against Barcelona and the tie against Real Madrid, there was some dodgy stuff going on. And then Man City were cheated by VAR against Tottenham to eliminate them as well. What I'm getting at is those two clubs, due to who their ownership groups are, they don't want them winning anything. And I'm telling you that right now. Wait till you see how PSG gets eliminated from the Champions League this year again. If PSG's on it, they're going to cheat them dudes again. I'm telling you. If Man City's on it, they're going to cheat them dudes as well. Because they don't want them winning. So when you try to put that on Unai Emery's resume, put an asterisk by it, because that was some dodgy business going on. Dodgy. All right? So I think that we need to back the squad, back the manager, support him, support the players, because that's what they need. I think Unai's a tough dude and he's hanging in there, but some of the players, we need to back them up, even if they're playing trash. We can say, yeah, you got to come off today, mate. You're having a shocker. Come on off. You know what I mean? But booing him and all that stuff, they can't handle it, man. So I think it's we're kind of out of control with our expectations, our assessment of the games. I mean, this game against Crystal Palace, we were unlucky. VAR really did us dirty. VAR did us dirty in the sense that our winning goal through Socrates should have stood. It should have stood. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? There were some calls where Morton Atkinson let Lacazette get mauled by Tompkins, and he never called anything. So that's where I am about it. I think that I still feel confident about the season. I know that we have Wolves and Leicester coming up, and I think that we're going to do well. I really believe we can get those results. We can go on a run. You know what I mean? Come on. I mean, look at this. Who's a better manager? Who would you rather have? Unai Emery or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? You serious? Are you serious? So if they're going to keep that dude over there, which I hope they keep him forever, because they're not going to win anything with Ole Gunnar. They're not winning anything with that dude. I don't care how much money they spend. The guy's a clown. Anyway, our guy has won the Europa League countless times. He's a good manager. Just back him and give the players support. If we give the players support, then they can play with confidence under Unai. We'll get what we need. Don't forget when the man came in last year, right? After the first two games between City and Chelsea, the man went on a run and didn't lose any games. We just won a lot of games. We could do that again. Don't forget that was the same manager. Don't forget. So we've got to back the manager, back the players, stop with the toxic stuff, and start with the old Emirates out stuff. It's ridiculous. We did the same thing with Arsene Wenger. And now you can see that it wasn't even Arsene Wenger. Some of these players aren't as good as we think they are. They're not. They're just standard footballers who are trying to achieve something for the club. You're acting like we have Sergio Ramos at center back and we're losing. You're acting like we have Jimenez from Atletico in the back and we're losing. No, we don't have those guys. You're acting like we have a proper CDM. Even Torreira in the Torreira is good, but he's not a world beater. He's not Frankie De Jong. You know what I mean? He's not on that level. He's not Sergio Busquets. No. We don't have those players. We've got some good guys going forward. And Pepe, I'm not even going to get into that because I've already told you about Pepe. People said that he had a good game against Crystal Palace. Stop. What did he do? He hit some corner kicks, yeah? What other cross did he get off in that game, aside from the corners? What other pass did he make that was a telling pass in that game? What did he create? Huh? Meanwhile, Zaha was running at people and putting people on toast. And you people, I mean, again, yes, back the guy. I don't listen. Unai's going to start Pepe because he cost 72 million. Great, put him out there. If he gives us something good, if he doesn't give us anything after 65, 70 minutes, take him off. He has played that amount of time. Come on out. And then go and put Saka in the game. Go and put Martinelli in the game. That's how I see it. And I think that's support for the player right there. But we got to support the lads. We got to support the manager and stop being so negative. Stop being so. You guys. Some people talk like we're in the relegation fight. No, that's Man United. They're out of it now because Norwich let us down. We thought Norwich was about that life. But you know what's funny, though? When Norwich was giving Man City the business and they were feeling themselves and they were pumped up, they were banging G's, keep that same energy when other people come to town and look at them since. Can't do it. So, man, I'm mad as hell at them because they were supposed to do something yesterday and they couldn't do anything. But I still feel positive. If this video stumbles upon any of the lads in the squad, listen here, man. I'm backing you. I believe in you. You can do it for us. We want all of you to stay. Unai, amigo, you're good, bro. Keep going. You know what you're doing. I appreciate it. I believe it. I trust it. We're going to be all right, but we just got to be positive. All right? Arsenal family, we got to be positive. Stop spreading negativity. Toxic energy is not good, man. What you think about, you bring about. So how about we think about getting top 4 and getting some cups this season and doing well, get back in the Champions League. Just think about that. It's going to be a roller coaster. We're not just going to dominate and smash teams all the time. And let me tell you something. Leicester beat Southampton 9-0. They're wrong for that. They needed to call the dogs off on that. Beating them dudes 9-0 like that, they're going to get what's coming to them. They're going to get what's coming to them, Leicester. You think the football gods didn't see what you were doing? Those guys were down a man in the rain, and you're already up 6-0. Man, keep the ball a little bit. And then they were celebrating every goal like, they had just got the goal differential to win the league. You're not going to get... Those guys, I can't wait till we play them. I can't wait. Because that was wrong what they did to Southampton. Wrong. I'm not about that. All that running up the score and then celebrating like that. Nah, man. That's not cool. Nope. I'm not with it. But anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. Let me know what you think. Should Xhaka remain captain? What you think of Unai Emery? Should he stay? Should he go? But yeah, so let me know what you think of what I've talked about. We've got in the League Cup, we've got Liverpool. I'm looking forward to the young bloods are going to play. Martinelli is going to play. Bellerin should play in that one. Holden will play. Martinez, the goalkeeper, will play. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be Saka, and those guys are going to get a run, I believe. So it's going to be good stuff, man. I'm excited for it. But yeah, holla at your boy, and we'll talk after the next important thing that happens. You know, that's what you'll see me again. All right. Meanwhile, FC Red and Black season has started again. Lads are looking good. Get ready for a big showcase in November, November 16th. Looking forward to it. We've got a nice little squad. Got some players in there. I'm pumped. So yeah, holla at your boy, FCRB TV. Subscribe at the bottom. Ciao.